Hey everybody, and welcome to Disney News for the week of Monday, March the 2nd. So let's kick it off with the news that I think everybody wants to talk about and is thinking about, and that's the fire in Disneyland. This past Saturday, there was a fire over by It's a Small World that happened at about 9:20 p.m., and luckily the Anaheim Fire Department was there and put it out within half an hour. It happened backstage. It was believed to be firework related, like I guess a loose ember had caused the fire, very similar to the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train fire that happened a couple of months ago. Luckily, nobody was hurt. The ride was relatively undamaged and able to be restarted again, and everything seemed to turn out all right. That said, that's the second fire in a matter of months now at Disney parks regarding fireworks. It will be really interesting to see what Disney does to either acknowledge or maybe help and make sure that this issue doesn't happen again in the future. Some men just want to watch the small world burn. In Animal Kingdom news, we got to see some new images for the Avatar Land expansion, which is slated to open in 2017. We got a quick peek at some new concept art, which shows the floating islands, which was a very iconic part of the imagery of the films. And we also got to see some footage of some cool new technology for these carpets that glow and change colors as people walk over it. So it's good to see that this is still under development and everything is going according to plan as far as we can tell. Moving over to the cruise ships, it looks like Frozen isn't the only movie that's going to get special treatment when it comes to Disney cruises. It looks like there's going to be a Star Wars Day over on the Disney Fantasy between January and April of 2016. Similar to Star Wars weekends, the Star Wars days on the Disney Fantasy will include characters from the films wandering around the ship. It'll include guest celebrities, special exclusive merchandise. They are going to encourage guests to dress up as their favorite Star Wars characters, and they're even turning the nightclub there into the Mos Eisley Cantina. Who knows, maybe we'll even see some characters and actors from Star Wars Episode 7, since at that point it will have been out for a couple of months. Speaking of Star Wars, Disney's newest sci-fi princess, Princess Leia, will be getting her own comic book series starting this week. Marvel is putting out a series based on Princess Leia that takes place right after the end of Episode 4 and the destruction of the Death Star. Spoiler alert. She teams up with Avon, a female X-Wing pilot from the Rebel Alliance who is also from Alderaan, and the two go out to find others from their homeworld, which is now destroyed, spoiler alert again, in hopes to find and preserve the culture of their planet that is no more. Writer Mark Waid says that for the first time in her entire life, she doesn't have a purpose that has been prescribed to her. Instead, she has to step up and figure out what she has to do next. He also says that, quote, the timing couldn't be better to be able to come out with a story of a badass princess who is her own hero and doesn't rely on others. This will also be great because Disney in general seems to be really spinning up the Star Wars in anticipation for Episode 7 coming out later this year. Lastly, speaking of Disney ramping up Star Wars in anticipation of Episode 7, Disney XD has announced that they are picking up LEGO Star Wars Droid Tales. It's going to be a 5-episode animated series based on LEGO Star Wars that retells all of Episode 1 through 6 through the eyes of R2-D2 and C-3PO. The idea is generally to sum up the entire saga for people who are just getting into it, presumably younger children watching the series, and it'll be interesting to see how Disney goes about summing up a 6 feature-length film saga in a matter of 5 22-minute episodes. Personally, it'll be interesting to see if taking 3 feature-length films from the prequels and boiling it down into 60 minutes or so might make the stories a little bit better. And of course, since it's Disney and LEGO and Star Wars, you can bet that there will be plenty of toys coming out around the series. So there you have it, just some Disney news. If there's a piece of Disney news that you feel I forgot, feel free to mention it in the comments below. And of course, if you want to read more about any of these news pieces, I have links to all of the articles in the description below as well. You can find me at Twitter at RobPlays. I want to thank you all for watching. Whatever you do this week, make the most of it because it makes it that much better. And I hope to see you all next time for the next Disney News Update. Bye, everybody.